So this is a book that I made using Graphic 45's Wonder of Oz. The book itself is a really creative design by Kim Can't Stop Crafting. And I will link the walkthrough to her video in this video, and then you could look up the tutorial from there. She had a lot of really interesting ideas, and it was very easy to follow, and it's probably my most ambitious book yet. But so this is the front cover. I'm not really done with the front cover. I just think I need some more stuff on here, but that's the front cover. The other thing I did that I thought was kind of interesting is I found this book, this kind of vintage Wizard of Oz book, and I incorporated some of the words and some of the images from this book in my mini album. So, I'll go through that. I thought that was kind of an interesting concept. So this is the front cover of the book. This is the spine. You can't really see it, but it says Yellow Brick Road on there. This is on here because I have some Wizard of Oz charms I want to put on here. And the back is one of the pages to the book I just showed you, so I can kind of pay homage to the illustrator and the author. One interesting thing is that neither the book nor the collection has ruby slippers. They are silver slippers, and that's what Frank Baum originally wrote in his book. And the ruby slippers are copywritten, so they don't use it in the collection. So when you open this up, the first thing you see is this little flap. And what I did here is I took one of the cut aparts that had a frame to it. I cut out the center, popped up the frame, and then found the sheet music to Over the Rainbow. One of the pieces of ephemera in the collection was a rainbow. And then I took my favorite little guy here, who is the Tin Man, and popped him up there. And then when you open it, it's kind of the beginning of the story where Dorothy's house starts, gets in the tornado. This is a photo mat, and then I said the house whirled around 2 or 3 times and rose slowly through the air. Dorothy felt as if she was going up in a balloon. So that kind of starts the story there. And then over here, this was a piece of ephemera that I just popped up on chipboard, and this whole concept of this little slide, of course, is from the tutorial, but she had 2 of these here and here, but it kind of worked better for me doing this. By the way, she did hers with the Friends collection from Country Craft Creations. So anyway, you open this up, and there's a photo mat there, and then we have 2 waterfalls. These were just pieces of ephemera that I pasted down and then popped up these little figures here. And this is just a regular waterfall. And then down here is a photo mat, and this is a tuck spot to put your photo in. I thought this was a really good idea that she came up with. And then you turn the page, and it's the same as the cover page. She had something different here, the creator. She had all these tags, but I decided to do this. So you open these up. These are photo mats, and then here is a photo from the book of them finding the Tin Man, and it says, "This is a great comfort," he said. "I've been holding that axe in the air ever since I rested, and I am glad to be able to put it down at last. Now if you will oil the joints of my legs, I shall be all right once more." So that's when she's coming across these characters. And then over here, this was from the book and I just colored the copies in with a colored pencil. And this here is one of the pieces of ephemera that I popped on chipboard. This was also ephemera. And this is an interactive piece. So this opens this way, photomat. And then this would open this way, photomat. And then this and this open like this. There they are in the poppies field, and and these are all the poppies. It's kind of a poppy page. And it says, they now came upon more and more of the big scarlet poppies and fewer of the other flowers, and soon they found themselves in the midst of a great meadow of poppies. And this is it's open for a photo. Now you can also just, open these one at a time, but mine kind of went together to the story. And then when you open up this is the Friends is a piece of ephemera that I popped up on chipboard. And then here are all the little guys that I just pasted down. And Toto, let's not forget Toto. And then this is a cut apart that I made into a photomat. And it says, I am Dorothy, answered the girl, and these are my friends, the Tin Woodman, the Cowardly Lion, and we are going to Emerald City. So this is a Friends page. And you turn it over, and this is a photomat, and this is open. This was also a piece of ephemera from the collection. And then this is a piece of, this was a cut apart from the collection, and this opens up to a photomat. That was the other side of one of the journaling cards. They had beautiful journaling cards. And then that's just the back. And then this I did something a little different, or I tried to. This is one of the little cut-aparts, and you can journal here or put a tiny photo. But I made a little frame, and I put acetate on this, but also I did that so you could see the back of this card, just like you can see the front, because both sides were really cute and I wanted to be able to show both sides. So I did that. And then this is a photomat from the book with all the friends. And then this is a strip of the stamps. And this opens this way. And this, again, I cut, this is a photomat, or not a photomat, one of the cut-aparts. I cut out the center, popped up the frame, used a different cut-apart for the background, cut the witch out of the cut-apart. It's kind of a big story, and then popped her up on chipboard, and then put acetate on this. And this opens up to a photomat. These three little figures I cut out of the book. I'll pop them on chipboard, and this is a photomat. I thought this paper was so pretty. They did have nice paper in this. And then this is kind of an interesting page. This is the Good Witch and the Good Witch and the Bad Witch. Had to have them. This slides out. I use pink for the Good Witch, Glinda, and green for the Wicked Witch of the West. And so we have the silver shoes, said the Good Witch, have wonderful powers. That's Glinda talking. And then down here it says, the witch was too much afraid of the dark to dare to go to Dorothy's room at night and take the shoes. So this is a cut-apart. I mean a photomat. And then these open this way. So you could put photos there. And that's the Bad Witch. And then this one opens this way for photos, and that's the Good Witch. So again, I thought the creator of this had a really, was really interesting. The one thing about it is sometimes I get a little hung up on getting it back to where it is. So I'll just stick that in a little bit later and then tie it up. And then on this page, this was cut out of the book. It's the lion crying. I always love the crying lion. And it says, don't you dare to bite Toto. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, a big beast like you, to bite a poor little dog. And then you have to have a Yellow Brick Road reference. This pulls out That's a photo mat. And then this opens. That's a photo mat. These are pieces of ephemera, and that's from the book. And then here at the top is just a photo mat. And then this opens up. This is, I just did a double belly band. And then this was a piece of ephemera I have on chipboard, Never Doubt Your Magic. And then this is from the book, and it's just a photo mat. And then over here, I just took one of the cut aparts and put some acetate on it. This guy was piece of ephemera. And then this is one of my favorite images, Brains, Heart, and Courage. And then this opens up to photo mat. And this little guy, I think I was going to do something with him, but I didn't. And then to end the story, this back page, we've got There's No Place Like Home. And I won't read this whole thing, but it talks about how Dorothy lands again in Kansas. And it's really just a photo mat. And then this opens up. We have 2 photo mats here. This is open. And then I think she clicks her heels and says there's no place like home 3 times. So I put 3 of those stickers here that say there's no place like home. Up here's a picture of the wizard I got from the book, and it says, I think you are a very bad man, said Dorothy. Oh no, my dear, I'm really a very good man, but I'm a very bad wizard, I must admit. These open. This says everything you were looking for was right there with you all along. That's a piece of ephemera from the collection. And then this talks about her being home again with her Aunt Em. And like I said, I think Kim did an amazing job coming up with this design and then actually implementing it. So I would definitely recommend that you check out her tutorial, and her directions are pretty clear too, so that's great. So that's the book.